Hey guys, Freddie here. I'm going to talk a little bit about that early days of the lawn journey. So you're going to want to hire somebody, right? So when is the right time to hire somebody? Is it like the first day? Could be. Also, there's two things. You want to either pick and choose. You want to hire a helper in the truck with you or somebody in the office to answer the phone for you. See, those two are very important, and you can go either way with that. You can go hiring a helper. That's kind of how I started. When I first hired somebody, it was really early. I had a little bit of houses. I mean, enough to where I thought I could use a helper, get done faster. You also want to hire somebody to help you in case you need to take a day off. You can have somebody to rely on to maybe finish the day for you. So what I would recommend is hiring somebody as early as enough where you have your own route and you're doing a route, whether it's 1 day, 2 days a week, 3 days a week. You just have to keep in mind that this person probably wants a weekly paycheck. So you probably have to wait till you got like 3 or 4 days under your, routine scheduled jobs before you hire somebody. But I would recommend hiring somebody fairly early in that position to help you so that if you did have to just go make an errand, run an errand, they would finish the list for you. So that's key. The other route you could go is you can wait until you have your helper and you guys are doing pretty good, and then hire an office person to keep you guys busy so you don't have to worry about the phone calls when you get to the jobs. You arrive to a job and you're stuck on the phone writing down notes for 10, 20 minutes. You can hire somebody to deal with all that and keep you busy, keep your list fed, keep you working all day. That's a great way to go. I actually waited for that position a little longer than I probably should have. And once I realized that my office person was feeding me the list and keeping me busy longer throughout the day, I realized I should have hired somebody to do that earlier. But I still think I would have hired a helper first, just so that I could have somebody to rely on if I'm not feeling good, if I wanted to have them mow without me, and I could go run errands. The thing is, you still want that person to be held accountable. You still want to hire and fire fast until you found that person that you think you'll be able to trust the day you'll need to. And it's also important to know that you're going to get some great candidates early on when you probably can't afford it. I don't know what you're willing to pay, but let's just say, for example, you're willing to pay $15 an hour, but this person wants $20. And try and put the money thing aside first. Try and think of the worker first. Think of how reliable would that person be? Do they have a driver's license? Do you think they could talk to customers if you weren't there? Think about that first and then decide whether or not to pay the $20, because what I'm trying to get to is those early days when these workers are wanting more money, you're going to think to yourself, well, I'm not making that much. Why would I pay somebody else that? That's just the way it is being a business owner, man. You're just going to have to, pull money from places to make sure you can pay these people, because it's just going to be that way. And it's good to get in the habit early on, because once you get to where we're at 20 employees, field workers, payroll is super high, but I've been so used to getting beat up by that to me it's just another Wednesday when it's payday. You know what I mean? But because I had some really great workers start with me at the beginning, looking back, and now they have their own businesses and doing great. And all they wanted was probably $5 more an hour than I was willing to pay at the time. And if I would have done that, I probably would be further along where I am now. It took me years before I paid really good, just because I felt like, why would I pay somebody more than I'm making? But you shouldn't think that way. You can't think that way. If you've got a good worker and they're asking for market value and you can't afford it yet, you got to figure out a way to do it. I would recommend, think of that worker, if their ability to help you grow, before the money. Sometimes you just think of the money. Oh, so they want $20 an hour. They want $25 an hour. I can't think of anything else. No, that's not a lot of money if they're going to help you grow your business fast. If I would have hired 2 key people in my early days, I'm talking 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, if I would have hired them, even at this point, I'd be much better off if I would have just taken that plunge. So that's what I recommend. Hope that helps. If you like what you hear, please click subscribe and like and comment. Let me know what you think.
For more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe.